Today's question, can we buy in a downtrend? Not exactly my preference. In a downtrend, I would prefer to sell into strength, but that does not mean that we do not buy when opportunity arises. So we just have to make it very clear that in a downtrend, whenever an opportunity arises, we got to keep it short term or rather, because we are going against the trend. And I find that this parallel downtrend line is especially useful for to help me to identify all this buying opportunity in a downtrend. Now, so what we're going to discuss here is how to draw a parallel downtrend line. Basically, there are two rules, there are two steps how to do that. Now, first of all, we have to identify the major downtrend line. So once we can identify the major downtrend line, then we parallel it. Now, with this parallel downtrend line that we have drawn, I'm going to draw that later on, then we can look out for the buying opportunity whenever it surfaces. Now, before we get into that disclaimer, so what presented here, it is not a recommendation, so please consult your licensed broker. My mission is to create lateral thinking skill for every investor and traders, knowing when to take a calculated risk with market uncertainty and a bolder risk when opportunity arises. And today, the example I'm going to use is micro E-mini Dow Jones. And about 3 years ago, I'm very thankful personally that CME have launched this micro. It's just about 1/10 smaller of the regular. Just about beginning of this year, 2022, all the US indices hit the record high. And it make it almost impossible to hold even one regular contract because the risk exposure for my personal risk exposure is simply too large. But with the micro E-mini Dow Jones, everything is reduced by 1/10 of the size. So it make it very comfortable for myself to trade on multiple lots and I can strategize from it then and then. Now, anyway, now let's go back to the first point that I'm going to share is that how to draw a downtrend parallel line. Now, the first step is that we have to identify the major downtrend line. Now, in the major downtrend line, the rule is that we look out for the significant peaks. We look out for significant peaks. Now, in a major uptrend line, it's opposite. We look out for the significant trough. But in this example, we're going to identify the major downtrend line. Now, this is what I'm going to do here. This is a weekly chart. So later on, we're going to narrow down to the daily chart. Now, where are the significant peaks? We could see that one here, somewhere at the beginning of the 2022. There are multiple here. And the last one is about here, somewhere in May. Now, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to draw a downtrend line connecting all these peaks. Now, the next thing, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to make adjustment, which is we have identified where are the peaks. And now we're going to make some alignment adjustment to find the best fit. If you have been following my earlier videos, I mentioned about how exactly to identify the peaks and also to make adjustment with the best fit. Now, this what I'm going to do here is that we could see that I'm satisfied with this. I'm really satisfied with this is that I'm going to put a stop here. And you could see that it touched at the significant high, significant high. Now, all these, it touches 2 points here. And these are the opening prices, opening prices. These are some of the false break. Now, basically, in a period of this weekly period in the candlestick, there are 4 significant points. The 4 significant points, they are all significant when the trend line rested on it. Now, this is the opening price. So we have 2 points, 2 key points, high and high. So I am satisfied with this downtrend line. And this is what we have completed the step 1. We have identified the major downtrend line. Now, but the key is how to draw a downtrend parallel line. Now, since we have identified the first step, which is the major downtrend line, then we parallel it. Now, this is how it works here. What I'm going to do here is that I'm going to clone this. I'm going to shift this down. So once again, you make your adjustment. And I felt that this is pretty decent, pretty good. Now, And I would say that this is almost a perfect downtrend line to me, a downtrend parallel line. Now, how is it useful in creating a buying opportunity to identify buying opportunity in the downtrend is that this is a downtrend parallel trend line or a channel. Now we could see that whenever the market trade to the lower band of this channel, maybe is telling us that the market there is some support. Now I want to see that over the span of the last few months in this weekly chart, we could see this behavior that whenever the market, there's a candlestick, in this case is hammer, that appear, or sometimes it could be other candlestick formation. Some of you may be familiar with it, but it doesn't matter. I personally, I like the hammer, bullish engulfing body in this case. And we could see that there are two hammers and not yet down here. Maybe there are other combination of formation of candlestick. I do not know. But let us play around with the time frame as well. Now I'm going to go into the daily chart right now. I'm going to squeeze it. Now I want you to look at very closely right now here is that as we saw all this this downtrend parallel line channel, these are all the false break. Just now we have identified that. And we could see that now it became so clear. The hammer. And now at this point, I could recognize that the market, the Dow Jones, or in this case, the micro E-mini Dow Jones, have or is resting on some kind of support. Now, is it a trigger for a buying opportunity? I would say not yet, but in a way, I'm getting ready, getting set, waiting for that best moment. Now, in trading, we have to be patient. You may not have to be active all the time. Active or nothing to me is equal to zero, but we should be actively looking out for opportunity. We've got to be patient. And what I see here is that whenever the timeline as it start to trade in sideways along the timeline, this is a daily chart, when it start to form a hammer or other kind of formation of candlestick formation, it could be bullish engulfing body or whatever. And say, for example, today is traded here. Somehow along the timeline for today itself, it went all the way down and it closes here. So it rested on this downtrend channel and it forms a hammer. And I would say that as a close of today, it formed a hammer, say for example, and the next flip of period, I'll be really interested to create a buying opportunity here. But recognizing that we're going against the trend, I will just keep it short term. The next few days of next few trading days, because the whole trend is downtrend. So that's what I will do. And let's appreciate this chart, this picture a little bit more with this weekly chart. It's just amazing that we play around with the time frame and just to showcase what we have discovered to construct a downtrend parallel trend line and then where to spot for a buying opportunity. So now feel free to leave any comments below. I love to exchange great ideas with you. Continue to explore this topic with these related videos and register for these webinars as well. Follow my Facebook page for my daily market insights. To be updated with my latest video, subscribe to my channel and remember to turn on the notification bell. See you again very, very, very soon.